Hi everyone, Daisy here with my March layout share. And March? Yeah, March. I'm sorry, my computer fan is on. It's being ridiculously loud, and I think my dog's going to bark at me. My desk is a total disaster area. Whoops, as you can tell. And I basically just shoved everything out of the way so that I could film this layout. Yeah, we're in our new normal, right? And I just had to kind of make it work. So I have a few layouts to share. I didn't do too much scrapping in March. It was kind of a ridiculous month. So yeah. So anyhow, this first layout was for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I used the star background. No, what is it called? Excuse me, a Starry Night background maybe? And what I had done is I had cut it out of some kind of thicker cardstock. It's a like paper bag cardstock from Cardstock Warehouse, and used it as a stencil. I made my own kind of texture paste by adding some Ken Oliver Colorburst powders to some texture paste. And so I made this beautiful blue color. I also did this for the, I think it's called Make a Cluster or something about clusters for the March challenge for paper issues. I'm using the Cocoa Vanilla Legendary collection, and I made a big giant cluster in the middle. So yeah, that worked out. I used some of the stars that were left over from the stencil cut file, and then I also added some wood veneer stars and some stars from the collection. There is a video for this one, I believe, maybe, most likely, so you can check that out. But yeah, it's just a fun layout. I'm trying to do more boy layouts this month. April always seems to be the month that I do a lot of boy layouts, so, or like springtime, because I start feeling guilty. So next up, this is another one for Confessions of a Paper Addict. This was from actually I think the week 2 release, and I accidentally used it for week 1 in March. March was the 1-year birthday of Confessions of a Paper Addict. Congratulations, Virginia, if you're watching. And this is actually a frame cut file where it had the flowers on the top and the bottom, and then I duplicated it and added it so that it was all the way around. I cut it out of black cardstock and then used this flamingo cardstock from Simple Stories, and then a lot of Cocoa Vanilla on here. This is from Amy Tangerine. This is something that I printed is from a Dear Lizzie collection, and I printed it on some diamond glitter cardstock. I don't think you can see it. I printed this too, but it's nice and glittery and so beautiful. And then I used Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins that were new for March, and I cut this cut file, like I just used a font on my computer and just did that. This layout was for the Paper Issues Insta Parade, and we were supposed to use or do monochromatic and use green, and so I made this layout. I stamped all of these flowers. These are from Heidi Swap, I believe. That sounds right. And then I used the alcohol markers, the Nuvo alcohol markers that are available at Paper Issues, and I colored in just the leaves on the flowers and then put it all around. I used the stamp set that is from the new Chamel collection to stamp around and add a little bit more details. My title is High Love, and then I added an S from a Bella Boulevard sticker sheet, and I stapled it down. I made a little cluster here, folded back the papers, and used this paper that is from Chamel. And then I did a doodly border and continued it onto the folded area. And I love this layout so much. Oh, and I used green mirror cardstock behind the photo. So lots of fun. It was super simple. I added some sequins on here. I used my pick scan to cut the flowers out. And Georgianne, if you're watching, I have not forgotten about you. Something happened to the file and I have to re-upload it. So just technology. Um, I'm doing a pick scan tutorial, if anybody's wondering what that was about. This layout I created for Cardstock Warehouse, and I decided to kind of go old school with it. I'm pretty sure there's a video for this one. There's not a video for the last one, but I think this one there is. So I just cut a bunch of circles out. I used my Martha Stewart circle cutter and then realized it was broken, and that's why I was struggling so hard with it. I used scrap papers because I have, I mean, let's face it, a million cardstock scraps. So I stamped on some of them to kind of add a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of something to it, using a Hero Arts like background floral stamp. And then I cut some little leaves and some stems. I used some of this paper here is their parchment paper, and I stamped on that, and then like a sparkly white behind it. And then I pulled out my buttons. I have tons of buttons, and so I decided to use some of them up. So that was lots of fun. Again, the diamond cardstock. I wish I could really, it's not gonna focus. I had to turn my autofocus off because it like focuses at weird times. You can't really see it, which is disappointing. But and then this is their wood veneer paper. They have this in 12 by 12. I'm so excited because I had to, this was a scrap and I had to kind of cut two pieces to stick it together. But I bought it in 12 by 12 because wood veneer paper is amazing, and it does cut on your silhouette as long as you go slow. It doesn't split the paper, so it's really lovely. This one was for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and it was week 2 release, maybe? I don't remember. But I stitched all of these clouds, and I don't know because it's really washed out right now. I'm having lighting issues. So I stitched all of these clouds on the background. If I create a shadow, maybe if I turn this light a little bit. Does that help or make it worse? So I stitched all these clouds using some white thread, embroidery thread, and I did them in kind of different stripes to create different textures within the clouds behind. And these are 2 cut files. I think it's the Rainy Day, and I can't remember what this one is called. On the video for this, I have a link for it. So I just backed the rainbow. I used some cardstock stickers out of my stash. These are from, I'm pretty sure, One Canoe 2, I don't know, I want to say Goldenrod, but I don't think that's right. And then I used this Amy Tangerine little scrap of paper and some enamel dots and sequins and just everything. I love this layout so much. I love the clouds. I definitely want to do that again. It took me 3 hours to stitch though. I hate stitching, and that took 3 hours. This layout, excuse me, was for one of my Facebook Lives for paper issues, and this was for the open up challenge. So I used these little, and it was to open something that you've had in your stash that you bought and you never used. So I opened up these little puffy words from Paige Evans, Truly, what is it? Truly, I can't remember. So I used these ones and I just kind of spread them around. I used them with the Doodlebug flowers that came in there. I can't even, oh my gosh, my brain is just not functioning. So the Doodlebug flowers, I don't think these are available in the shop, but she might be getting more. These came from the kit. This is from my stash, I'm pretty sure, Pretty Little Studio. And then I added enamel dots, which may have also been from the kit. And these enamel hearts are from a Doodle Pops, like the Doodlebug, like enamel 3D pieces. And then these little cut apart cards are from Chamel. And I added some of the tassels that are in the Paper Issues February kit, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, this is just a fun layout. It was a lot of fun to create. This one was for everyday inspiration and the unconventional. I think that's what the challenge was called. And so I used this paper, which I want to say is Elle Studio. It was from the kit, the February kit for paper issues, and it's got these gray hearts on it. And then I crocheted these black hearts. And so if you don't know, I recently started crocheting, probably in October, and everybody has asked me to crochet them something. Well, pretty much everybody. So there's a video for this if you want to check it out. But I used a lot of Pretty Little Studio stash. I used some different alphas. The everyday inspiration was a picture of my yarn shelf. So that was, I mean, it just made sense. I added some of the tassels again from that kit, and I altered these. So these are those like Pepto-Bismol pink alphas that everybody loves, and I just hate the color. So I always color them with a Sharpie marker. And yeah, it's really fun. I love this layout a lot. This was for Confessions of a Paper Addict. I used the Make-A-Wish and Rarsum cut files to create this layout. I feel like I'm missing a layout. Oh no, that might have been from last month. So I've been on this diagonal kick. I don't know, because you know the other Facebook Live one I did was diagonal, and yeah, I don't know. So anyhow, I used, like I said, the 2 cut files. I cut them out smaller because I wanted to use them more as die cuts, which is a fun thing to do with cut files. And then I excuse me, I added in the Pebbles birthday collection, which is I think Happy Day or Happy Cake Day, I can't remember. And then some Spiegel Mom Scraps wood veneer hearts, and then just some thickers. It was just a kind of a simple but really fun layout to put together. So you get to play with all the fun, beautiful things. And then this is my last layout. This is for a Paper Issues Live that I did, and I did the Best Buds challenge, and I did an 8.5 by 11 size, and a lot of stamping on here. I would think this is Heidi Swap too, like they were 2 different Heidi Swap stamp sets. I could be wrong. I don't have them near me, so. And then I made circle balls, which if you have not watched that Facebook Live, you should go watch. And I recommend doing it with a drink because we turned it into a drinking game by the end of the Facebook Live, because I said balls a lot. So anyhow, I made these. They're like half pom-pom kind of ball things, and they're very dimensional, and they were lots of fun to make. Definitely, maybe I should have made them before I started the video, but didn't think that far ahead. So I added a lot of the puffy like enamel dot things. They're actually puffy stickers that were in the February kit. Some of the flowers from Chamel around, and then I used these fun letters, which I always struggle to use these because like it bothers me when you can't get the same color family or whatever on one layout, but it worked really well for this one. The papers I used are all like scraps that I had from like the Chamel collection, and this is a Dear Lizzie scrap that I've been hanging on to forever. And then I used some of these Bella Boulevard little letters. And it's just a layout about the flowers in my garden. Like, I don't think I've done a layout about these purple flowers yet. I usually do peonies because the peonies are my absolute favorite. So, but yeah, just a fun, it was a quick layout. I did this on mixed media paper from the Paper Issue Shop. It's the Vicky Bouton like foundations paper. Because I was thinking about watercoloring, but then I really liked the black and white because I added all the color in the like details, so I really wanted to keep it that way. So yeah, that was a fun layout. So that was all I created. Well, actually, I created some more layouts for in March, but they were for April, so I can't share those yet. But definitely, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or comment. If you don't subscribe already, please subscribe. I'm trying to do a layout a day, or 30 days of sketches, with Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life for the month of April. Not all of them will have videos, but a lot of them will. And so, yeah, a lot of things are happening in April, I'm sure, for everybody. But yeah, everybody, please stay safe. Keep your family healthy, and I will see you again next time. Bye.